Okay, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Chaos with Thunderdog eSports, bringing you game number 5 with my good friend El Presidente. This is going to be KLG going up against 440 Gaming, and the score is currently in KLG's favor, 3-1. We will see who can get that last league point for the evening. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner here on Foxtrot Ladder Edition, in the purple trunks, representing Team Chaos Latin Gamers, he is Spectrum.
And in the upper left corner of the map, playing for Team 440. Sadly, their team has lost the series, but that does not mean he's lost this game. It is the Green Zerg, Geeden.
Okay, so we've got a ZVZ cross position here on Foxtrot Lab. So the last ZVZ that we saw was very, very short. We had one guy go for Hatch first, another guy go for a 14-14 Bane all in.
Here it is, 14-14.
Once again, it's kind of starting to look like that. Gosh, I would hate for KLG to lose 2 games to the same build. But I have.
Looks like Spectrum.
Okay, he's
going for 15 pool.
Okay, well, definitely the safer of the 2 options. So the question is will he get his gas earlier, or will he go straight for the expand? That is.
If he does, I'm hoping he goes pull hatch gas, not pull gas hatch.
Okay. Any particular?
Especially against a 14-14 though. On these positions, you're going to need a Banner Nest. No amount of walling and spine crawlers will save you here.
Yep, you got this nice little huge gap to get into. Not really, yeah, there's not really a whole lot you can do. I'm pretty sure it would be approximately 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings, roughly. Unless you wanted to, like, just do 2 hatches in one building, so then it'd be 3. Crazy Zerg walls.
It's too large to reasonably wall off. It's too far away from the natural hatch to even reasonably wall off as well.
Yeah, and there's not really a good way to like wall off with the ramp.
Spectrum thinks something is up. He knows something's up. Actually, he scouted no natural. So he actually has a spine crawler building in the main.
Well, he does see the natural going down, so he is.
But he also sees it coming down late, which is a huge tell.
Yeah. So we'll have to see whether or not this is actually going to turn into that Baneling push. Granted, we do have one worker still getting some gas, so he's going to have his early. Geeden's going to have his early speed, and we'll probably continue up.
Spectrum is responding perfectly, though.
Yeah,
he's going for the fast Baneling nest.
Yep. Now one Ling's going to try and get in here. Wow, that was. Should have just let the spine crawler do its thing, but yeah, the Ling will get in, get a full scout, see the Baneling nest, see the gas being mined, and be fully aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Geeden doesn't commit past this point, and doesn't look like he is. He is getting an Evo chamber, so he might be going for a +1 carapace timing.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good
to get through the Banes.
Yep, I think that would be a really good option. He hasn't canceled his naturals, so he's not going to do anything too crazy. Granted, we do have more units coming out for him, so he is starting kind of the the barrage of Lings.
But we do see four drones constructed, so it does seem like Geeden doesn't want to commit to this kind of attack, at least not yet.
Yeah, he's thinking about it though, because obviously, the more Lings you make, the less drones you're making, and the less drones, obviously, going to be a little bit more on the aggressive side.
He did pull ahead, however, in the drone count.
Yeah, currently 25-24. All in all, I think. I'm surprised the supply actually is in Geeden's favor a little bit. So Link's trying to.
Mostly because of the spine crawler.
Oh, that was really close. Yeah, that would have been pretty epic. But it does look like Spectrum's going to go ahead and respond with some roaches. So the roach warren is going to go down. Still no lair coming out of Spectrum. Looks like Geeden's already started his, so probably going to go ahead and get that Bane speed up to make his Banes a little bit more effective. But yeah.
More likely he's going to go into roaches of his own. But it could be mutas.
Could very well be. So we will have to see.
But personally, I think mutas in this matchup are pretty dead. But the fact that he hasn't dropped a roach warren yet is making me think he wants to go into Lingling muta for certain.
Yeah. So actually some nice hits going off. Banelings getting hit by 1 Ling apiece. So definitely a nice little trade there for Spectrum. Geeden's gonna go ahead and head back a little bit, build some more Banes, and be in another position to do some damage.
+1 characters is nearly done, and it's going to make his Lings very durable versus the roaches that Spectrum wants to get out. On top of that, the Spire has been dropped, so there hasn't been a lot of scouting being done by Spectrum. It's also going to be very difficult for Spectrum to even establish a third against this kind of opening. With all these Lings out, it's very easy for Geeden to cancel a third.
Yeah, so Geeden's just trying to poke in, trying to get into that main. He really wants to see what's going on. He's been a little bit in the dark for a fair amount of time. Looking at his vision, the only really thing he's seen is the Baneling nests.
We do see a very greedy, aggressive expand towards the gold base.
That's...
So he's going to have a little bit more resources to work with, and we're actually seeing Geeden kind of panic a little bit at home as well.
Ooh! Yeah, a whole bunch of Lings getting into the main. Going to try and get as much damage done as possible. Going to focus down the Queen. Queen in the main will go down. Nice little pick off as well as a full scout off. Definitely a nice little victory there for Geeden. Just biding his time, doing a good job of... So...
Spire is nearly complete. That's still only going to be about 8 meters, and that's going to be very hard pressed to stop this many roaches.
Yeah,
Mutas are very, very bad versus roaches.
Yeah,
granted, funny to think about.
Yeah, granted, there are a fair amount of spine crawlers out here, so that's definitely going to be a nice little plus for him. Going to be able to do that extra damage to the armored units. Third base trying to get killed. It's not going to be quite enough. Lings are going to go ahead and pull back now. And the rest of the units are on the way. So Muta's just now popping out, trying to focus down some of those Banes, and very nice Bane detonates on a handful of those Lings. And at this point, yeah, I feel like Spectrum just needs to focus down the third and either go for it or back off, because he doesn't really have a anything to deal with the Mutas at this point.
He does have 5 crawlers being built everywhere, basically, and that's going to shut down any attempt at Muta harass. The problem is from here, the map control is basically all in Geeden's favor. Despite being able to get that knife's deny on the third, he's not going to be able to stop Geeden. Spectrum's not going to stop Geeden from just taking another 2 bases for free.
Yeah, so Spires, or the Muta's coming in, trying to get some damage done. Ling's going into the natural, doing a nice hold position. Going to take out a handful of those drones, and then going to run straight into a freaking Baneling. But yeah, all in all, 3 drones taken out. Total at 4 drones so far.
We do see more Mutas, but for Mutas to comfortably engage into a Spore, you need basically enough to one-shot it.
Yeah.
And Spores have 400 HP and 1 armor.
And 3 shot a Muta.
Yeah. Mutas only do 8 damage to Spore crawlers.
Oh wow. So a couple overlords getting.
You actually.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in a reasonable game, you actually will never be able to one-shot a Spore crawler with Mutas.
Yeah, because you need, like, well, if they've got upgrades. So, it does look like Spectrum's going to go ahead and start thinking about taking his own third. Granted, supply is definitely in Geeden's favor. As we see, there's roughly a 30 supply deficit. More Spore crawlers actually being built, surprisingly. He is, like, not taking...
He needs to preemptively hold the Spore crawler so that when he expands the creep down to his third, he can just drop the Spore crawlers already there.
Mm-hmm.
and that will allow him to safely get up his third. And this is the big thing when you're playing against mutas as a roach player, is that you've got to get the creep out.
Yep. Yeah, so Muta's trying to get in here and kind of poke a little bit. Not quite going to get what he needs to. We do have some infestors on the way, which will be nice. If those Mutas do end up clumping up, he is going to be able to hopefully get a nice fungal off. Cancel on the third once again. And yeah, Geeden's in a really, really good position. I mean, he's taking his fourth. He's still producing mutas and just now starting the upgrades, but definitely not too far behind.
Oh, there's a dead spot. Oh, okay, but it's been taken care of now.
What?
But I was about to say, Spectrum has some holes in his defenses.
Oh, how so?
But they're mostly taken care of now. Yeah, this is the big problem when you're playing against mutas as roaches, is that you get contained on two bases, you're just going to slowly...
Uh-oh. Oh!
Oh, big fungal.
Oh my gosh.
It's the links.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, will it get it all? One more. Oh! Oh my lord. That was huge. Like...
That's actually game-ending damage right there.
Yeah, that was.
Just gonna mark.
Oh my lord, that was so many mutas, just instant death. So Roach is now going to be traveling right across the field. Granted, there still are a fair number of mutas, going to slowly pick off some of these roaches. But yeah, roaches are doing pretty good. More Lings trying to stream and get us around. Not going to be quite enough. But yeah, the roaches. I don't know if this is the best option for him. I mean, they are going to come in here, take out this base, but at this point... Actually, yeah, he can take out the base, and then he can focus down the... maybe not focus down the rocks. Yeah, the Muta count's starting to raise back up again, so he does need to be a little bit careful. He's going to try and come in here and pick off maybe a queen, and maybe this hatch as well. He is starting to focus it down. Will it be enough, though? It's about half health. Oh, 400, 200, and down. So, yeah, two bases. Quite a nice little pickup. Granted, as far as reinforcements is going, it kind of feels like he slipped up a little bit. I mean, he's still got some infestors back at home. Some roaches are kind of lingering out on the field, but slowly getting picked off. And with these links coming in here to counterattack, the infestors might get surrounded. One will go down. Two will also go down. And yeah, at this point, two infestors. That was a pretty big loss there.
Yeah, it was. But now Spectrum has his third setup, and there's so many spore crawlers here that not even a critical mass of mutas is going to be super effective. Not without taking substantial damage. So in the meantime, Spectrum will be able to econ up. He'll probably end up taking the Hydras in addition to his infestors, and probably try to push back Geeden again. One big thing is that Spectrum completely neglected upgrades for the Carapace, which is actually really important when you're fighting mutas. +1 Carapace on roaches almost completely nullifies muta splash damage. It reduces the glaive damage second bounce to 1, and the third hits the minimum of 1 as well.
Yeah.
So it's actually very important to get the +1 Carapace, and he is getting it now, but it's more relevant when you're trying to get the Hydras out, because the Hydras are going to be that much more vulnerable to the mutas.
Yep. So nice little run by, came in, did a little bit of damage, but at this point, Geeden, things are starting to stabilize. As far as supply is concerned, both are pretty even, and it just looks like Geeden is now thinking about getting up to Hive as he does throw down hit. Okay, he's throwing down a Roach Warren as well. Is he going to tech over to Roaches? That to me doesn't make sense.
It's possible. But usually, if you transition from Swarm Host into mutas, you're probably going to be transitioning into Swarm Host.
Yeah, because I mean, trying to counteract roaches being behind in upgrades, especially as far as like the missile attack, I don't feel like that's going to really do him a whole lot.
Yeah, especially because roaches gain +2 damage per upgrade as opposed to the usual +1 that most get.
Okay, actually, mutas are going to come in here. Actually, might try and pick off the. Ooh, yes. 2 will get... Oh, wow. All of them will get funged once again. Oh, my lord. And with the rest of these Hydras here, a lot of those mutants will fall. We're down to 8 mutas in total. So I think overall, things are starting to definitely look in Spectrum's favor. Definitely going to go ahead and look to push out now that he's got the Hydras to deal with the mutas. Doesn't necessarily have to worry about the mutas just reigning supreme.
Yeah, and with this many Hydras, this number of mutas isn't going to be enough to deflect Spectrum. He's going to need to get some really good Baneling hits, or he's got to be able to stall somehow.
Yeah, we got 12 Banelings on the way. Will they be here in time though? Looks like Spectrum's just going around the map looking for those extra overlords. Still has a fair number of units out on the field, and is in a really good position. Gonna come in here. Banelings are posturing in position. Will it be enough? He's got 12 of them. Definitely has to be really, really careful. Banelings aren't going to really be able to get into a decent enough position. And they're going to try and focus down some of the Roach. Yeah, not really getting a whole lot done. And the mutas are holding up a little bit. But, I mean, he's going to lose the natural. And a lot of drones behind that. Things are still looking in favor of Spectrum as far as supply is concerned.
This is again one of the big reasons why mutas aren't really played anymore. It's that you have the map control, but you don't have any way of killing your opponent.
Yeah. And especially with as many spore crawlers that are out, it's not really like he can just waltz into Spectrum space and do damage. He's got to maneuver around all of the spore crawlers and really find an angle where he can get something done.
Yeah, there are so many Hydras out right now with 2-1 upgrades against the only 2 attack upgrade. It's going to be very difficult for Geeden to get a push out. Luckily, the natural isn't the most important base. It wasn't the 4th or 5th bases that Geeden already has set up. But he does need to get those gases restarted so he can continue and keep up his production.
Yeah. So at this
We're actually seeing the adrenal glands, though.
Yeah, I noticed that. So Hive is done for Geeden, so he is going to be going into those 3/3 upgrades as well as adrenal glands. So it does look like he wants to stay on Muta Ling. I'm really surprised by this. I kind of would have thought that he might have tried to transition into something else. But yeah, kind of interesting.
Also interesting is the fact that he actually has 2 Baneling nests, Geeden in his main.
Oh, interesting. Oh, gonna get a couple of those mutas. Not quite enough.
So to be good on this push, Lings aren't gonna cut it. Lings do suffer from that big thing about being melee.
Yep.
Which means that as supplies go up, effectiveness goes down. So he needs to find some really good engagement angle where he can basically get a full surround on the Spectrum's army without losing his mutas to the infestors and hydras.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna boil down to the fungals. I think if the fungals hit, then that's pretty much GG at this point.
Yeah, surprising. I'm honestly really surprised that Geeden's still kind of in this game. He's lost 51 mutas over the course of this game.
Oh my lord.
That
Yeah.
is really
Infestors are going to go ahead and get 1 fungal off. Second fungal will go down. Third fungal will also go down. The Hydras are just picking up a lot of these mutas. And more mutas have now fallen. Oh my lord.
Yeah, so we're already seeing kind of why Bling Muta isn't the optimal laking composition for Zerg.
Yeah.
It ultimately comes down to, in this matchup, nothing stands up to the Roach.
Pretty much.
The Roach does a lot of upfront damage, and it can 2-shot Lings with an upgrade advantage. Or at 3/3, it doesn't matter if you have an upgrade parity. 3/3 Roaches will 1-shot 3/3 Lings.
Yeah. So
it's very uncomfortable for Geeden. He doesn't have a strong offensive option. Even Ultralists don't really work well versus Roaches.
Yeah, because you can kite all day.
It's not so much the kiting, so much as the fact that Roaches aren't really afflicted by the negative that is the high armor.
Yeah, that is true.
The Ultralists.
Yeah.
So they're still they're not cost efficient, mind you. If you just move them into each other, the Ultralisks are still okay.
Yeah.
But the Roaches are still fairly efficient. But if this Wingworm can kill this third, it does put Spectrum and Geeden a little bit equal footing. But I think blood is in the water. And Spectrum might go for a killing blow soon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is kind of odd. So if you look at the upgrades, the Hydras are, he's only got 2-1 upgrade-wise for his Roaches and Hydras. And the Lings literally just streamed straight across the entire army, just like whatevs. So
the problem is with +2 attack, +2 Lings will still die in one hit.
Yeah. So nice concave. Oh my gosh, very nice concave going down. But yeah, Spectrum's putting himself into a really good position. He should be able to just waltz right in at this point. With no Banelings here, the Lings are going to pretty much fare useless. Banelings actually coming in from behind. I caught that. Oh, Fungal will go down on a lot of them. And yes, they will go down pretty well. Ultralisk Cavern will go ahead and get focused down. The mutas are following left and right. Looks like Spectrum has gone ahead, pushed through. 15 more mutas on the way, but will it be done in time? I think not.
Yeah, it looks like Geeden just lost way too many mutas over the course of this game and wasn't able to tech up because it was just constantly funny to replace them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Spectrum just played it out as well as he possibly could. There wasn't really a whole lot that Geeden could do, just because, I mean, gosh.